Hey everyone, welcome to Walking in Grace. Life can be tough, and sometimes we all need a little extra strength and courage to keep going. Today, I'm sharing 20 powerful Bible verses that remind us of God's promises during hard times. These scriptures will uplift your spirit, strengthen your faith, and help you face any challenge with confidence. Let's dive in. Let's start with verses that remind us of God's presence and strength in our lives. Joshua 1 verse 9, Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. This verse was spoken to Joshua as he prepared to lead the Israelites into the Promised Land. It's a reminder that no matter how big the challenge, God is with us every step of the way. When you feel afraid or overwhelmed, remember, you're not alone. God is your strength and your guide. Isaiah 41 verse 10, So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This verse is like a warm hug from God. It reminds us that He's not just watching from afar, He's actively holding us up, giving us strength, and helping us through every trial. When you feel weak, lean on Him. Deuteronomy 31 verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. This verse is a promise of God's constant presence. No matter what you're facing, whether it's fear, doubt, or uncertainty, God is right there with you. You don't have to face it alone. Psalm 46 verse 1. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. This verse reminds us that God is our safe place. When life feels chaotic, He is our refuge and our source of strength. Run to Him when you need help. Matthew 28 verse 20. And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Jesus spoke these words to His disciples before ascending to heaven. It's a promise that He is with us always, through every season of life. You are never alone. These verses remind us that no matter what we face, God is always with us. Which one of these speaks to you the most? Let me know in the comments. Next, let's look at verses that inspire courage during life's challenges. Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is one of the most quoted verses for a reason. It's a powerful reminder that with Christ, we can overcome any obstacle. Whether you're facing a tough decision, a difficult relationship, or a personal struggle, this verse reminds you that you're not doing it alone. Christ is your source of strength. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Fear doesn't come from God. Instead, He gives us power, love, and a sound mind. This verse reminds us to reject fear and embrace the confidence and clarity that come from Him. Psalm 27 verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? This verse is a declaration of confidence in God's protection. When we focus on His light and salvation, fear loses its power. No matter how dark things seem, God is your light and your stronghold. Isaiah 43 verse 2. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. This verse is a promise of God's presence in the midst of trials. No matter how overwhelming life feels, God is with you, and He won't let you drown. Romans 8 verse 31. If God is for us, who can be against us? This verse is a powerful reminder of God's unwavering support. When God is on your side, nothing can stand against you. No matter what challenges you face, you can trust that God is fighting for you. These verses remind us that with God, we can face anything. Which one gives you the most courage? Drop a comment below. Now let's focus on verses that bring peace during trials. John 16:33. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Jesus spoke these words to prepare His disciples for the challenges ahead. It's a reminder that while we will face trials, we can have peace because He has already overcome the world. Philippians 4 6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. This verse teaches us to replace anxiety with prayer. When we bring our worries to God, He gives us a peace that surpasses all understanding. Psalm 34 17-18. The righteous cry out and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. This verse reminds us that God hears our cries and is ready to deliver us. No matter how big the problem, God is bigger. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Jesus invites us to bring our burdens to him. When life feels heavy, he offers us rest and peace. Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. This verse reminds us that peace comes from trusting God. When we fix our minds on him, he keeps us in perfect peace. These verses remind us that God's peace is always available to us. Which one brings you the most comfort? Let me know. Next, let's explore verses that give us hope through God's promises. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. This verse is a reminder that God has a plan for our lives. Even when we can't see it, he is working everything out for our good. Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. This verse reminds us that God is the source of all hope. When we trust in him, he fills us with joy and peace. Psalm 121:1-2. I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. This verse reminds us to look to God for help. No matter how high the mountain, God is greater. Lamentations 3:22-23. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. This verse reminds us of God's unfailing love and faithfulness. Every morning his mercies are new. Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful. This verse encourages us to hold on to hope because God is faithful to his promises. These verses remind us that God's promises never fail. Which one gives you the most hope? Share your thoughts below. Finally, let's end with verses that encourage us to trust God's plan. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. This verse reminds us to trust God's plan even when we don't understand it. When we submit to him, he guides our steps. These verses remind us to trust God's plan even when we don't understand it. Which one helps you trust him more? Share in the comments. Thanks for joining me today on Walking in Grace. I hope these 25 Bible verses reminded you of God's promises and gave you the strength and courage you need today. If this video encouraged you, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting content. Let me know in the comments which verse spoke to you the most. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, walk in grace and peace. God bless.